Hi, today I want to show you how to rig and animate this can. First of all, we want to do the illusion of rotating the can. The easiest way to replicate the logo on the x-axis and then move it on the same axis. I use the motion tile effect to replicate the logo and drag it on the logo. Set the output height to 800. Like this. And to add the space between the logos, pre-comp the logos layer. Call it logo. Enter the composition and set the height to 450 in the composition setting. Return to the previous composition by pressing the Tab key. Now we need to make the logo appear only where the can is. Duplicate the can and call it matte. Open its content. We only need the body and remove the rest. Click on the toggle switch to make the track matte appear and drag this pick whip on the matte we made. And now move it on the x-axis. The logo will only appear on the can. Now we need to add the look of depth when the logo reaches the corner. Search for the fastbox blur and drag it on the mat. And make the amount of blur radius to 15. And for iteration, set it to 1. Make the mat smaller for its edges. And we have this. Now we have to make this ring move along with the logo. Right-click on the position and click on the separate dimension. Go to the part where this ring exists. If you remember, we use dashes for this line, which we can move it with offset. We connect this value with the x-axis. Now, if we move the X, the ring will move, but opposite. To reverse, go offset in the expression section, just add minus to the first text. And now is what we want. Now we are going to rig the can. Select this 3-layer and pre-compose it. Call it can. We want to rotate the can in 3 axes. One axis here. We put the can of anchor point here. And make the next axis here. Make a null object. Move it to the right corner and call it R. Make another one for the left corner and put its anchor point in this corner. And call it L. Change the color of labels. Now we have to parent them. Parent can to R and R to L. Now press the R key to comb rotation. And now if you change L, it will move like this. And for R, like this. And the middle, like this. Click on the toggle switch to open a space. Put the indicator to the first second and make a marker and call it contact. Select on the can layer and hold the shift and press P key to get the position. And active a stopwatch for position and rotation. We want to take the can from the bottom to the top and lay on the floor. And rotate on the left axis -8 degrees before approaching the floor. Put the indicator on the first frame and lower the can until it's go out of frame. Now put the indicator on the frame 16 and we take the can to the highest place we want. And take the rotation of the can to 22 and set this keyframe at first. Select them and press F9 key to make them easy ease. Now select the position keyframes and open the graph. We want the can to enter the scene quickly. Set the influence on this side to around 1. When it's reached the top, it's slow down and increase the influence on this side to 85. And for this side, 85. And for this side, the acceleration is required, about 5. So this is how the can comes up and quickly stop on the ground. Now we need to make the rotation on this side 0 degrees. Go back 3 frames and hit the stopwatch on the rotation. And go forward 5 frames and set it to 0. Select the keyframes and easy ease them. Open the graph. We want the speed to go from slow to fast. About 85 from this side and 5 for this side. Like this. Now we need to add right rotation. Just below this keyframe, make a keyframe on the rotation R. Go forward 10 frames by holding down the Shift, Command and right arrow key. And for here, 6 degrees. And go forward 10 frames again and make it 0 degrees. Select the keyframes and make them easy ease and open its graph. And like before, for this side, 5. Double click on this keyframe and make the influence of both sides to 85. And for this side, 5. Move the indicator a little forward and press N key to play only this part. We have this animation so far. Now we want to add a spinning to can. Set the indicator to 1 second and select the can layer. Right-click on the effect control and from the expression controls, select the slider control. Call it spinning. And lock it so it stays here. Enter the can composition. Press P key on the logo for position. And parent the X position to a slider. Now unlock it and return to the previous composition. Now we can rotate the can with the slider. Move it to the first logo. Make a keyframe. Move the indicator back until the can is visible. And now move the slider to the beginning. Press the U key. Move this keyframe to the first frame. Select them and easy ease them. Open the graph from fast to slow. For this side about 1 and this side is 80. That's it. Let's enable motion blur as well. Go to the can composition and enable the logo motion blur. Now we want the logo to move as the can move back and forth. First, change the value a bit further forward. Place the indicator on this keyframe. Move the logo forward a bit. Put the logo in place on this frame. Open the graph. It should be fast and slow like before. To start 5, the middle 85, and 5. Now it will be like this. We need to animate the shadow with the can. Place the indicator on the contact marker and select the shadow. Press P, make a keyframe. And press the S key for a scale and make a keyframe. Go back a few frames to where the can is coming down. We can also animate the blur of the shadow. Go back to the contact marker and make a keyframe on the blur and press U. Go to where the can is coming down. Increase the blur amount to 55 to diffuse the shadow. And set the scale to 0. Easy them and open the graph. From slow to fast, this side 85 and this side 5. It's like this. Now move the shadow like the can. Place the indicator on this keyframe. Hold Shift and use the right arrow key to move forward a bit. And on this keyframe, copy this previous keyframe. Open the graph for this keyframe just like the logo keyframes. Now we can trim the shadow from this side. This is how it has been so far. Okay, now we want to add 3D fake effect to the can. Set the indicator to the first second and enter the composition of the can. Make marker on the first second. Select the can and search for its path. Create keyframe for all passes by click and dragging on them. And active all stopwatches. Clear the search bar and we need to manually create 4 keyframes for different shapes. One of them is in the door transform. Make keyframe on scale and unlink it. Same for HL in transform. Make a keyframe on scale and unlink it. And for the inside, which are these 2 circles, in the ellipse section, on the sides make a keyframe. And the same for upper. Now press the U key to display the frames. Go back 10 frames and set a marker. Well, first we want to change the shape of the door by setting their size to 0. For door 0, for HL 0, and for inside and outside 2. Now it's the other turn. Click on one of these keyframes to display the vertex. We want to select these 4 vertices. This is for the ring, this is for body, and this is for face. Drag them up to where these door lines are. Now, if you look at this part, the curvature here is messed up. To fix it, select this vertex and move this handle. And to make both sides move at the same time, press the Option key once and fix it now. Now we need to fix the shadow and highlights. Now for the bottom of the can, we do it by moving these 2 vertices up. Lower this vertex a bit. Fix the shadow and highlights. Now we want to add this hidden part of the can. Close this once and open it to see its contents. Look for the bottom group and select it. Pick up the pen tool and start drawing this part. Click and drag away from the previous line, then hold down the spacebar to place it in its place. Next point here. And the next one here. And close it. Now name this shape floor. And drag it into the bottom group, under the fill. Now, to make it different color, make this fill color a little lighter. Like this. Now we need to animate this shape. Make a keyframe for the pass. It seems like something needs to fix here. Okay. Now if you look at the movement, it's clear that it should be moving upward. Do this. Select this vertex and set the indicator on the marker 1. Hold down the Shift key and press the up arrow key several times, almost here. See the result. Now we need to do something that whenever we place the indicator between these two markers, it seems like we are seeing the can from the front view. Bottom and this line is good, but the top need to fix. Select the can and press the U key. Now those 4 keyframes that we had made manually, select and place it between these two markers. Like this. Now we need to fix the face a little. Select the vertex and move it up a bit. It's better now. Let's watch it slowly. The bottom part is good. Now if we look at the logo, when the can moves, the logo is still. Select the logo and press the P key and make a keyframe at the Y position. And place the indicator on the marker 2 and move the logo up a bit. Let's see how things go slowly. The logo now matches the can. Let's go back to main comp. Now when the can comes up in this dimension and when it's come down, it's like this. Okay, now we want the can to move back and forth in dimension as move left and right. The indicator is on this keyframe. When it's bent this way, enter the can composition and make a marker in this frame. We can use between these two keyframes for this. Put the indicator on this frame. And now we can create keyframe for all layers by click and dragging on this point. And drag this keyframe to the marker 3. We create such movement. Let's see this movement in main composition. Now it feels like bending backward. And now we want the can to return to its original state when it's returned. Place the indicator on the last keyframe and enter the can composition. Make a marker and copy-paste this original can position keyframe here. Now it's like this. See the movement in the main comp. Now if you want to apply the bend effect to it, it can be done very easily by searching for the bend it effect. And drop it on the can. Place the beginning of the bend slightly above the bottom. See what's happened when I move this. It's actually a bug. By changing the bend value from 0 to 0.1, solve the problem. And in the render section, change it to static. Now anywhere on the project, we can easily add the bend effect. After we have animated the can, we are now going to add the slow motion effect to it. I will add sound effect to it. Now right-click on this comp and select Reveal Composition in Project. Click and drag on this icon to create a composition. Right-click on this comp and select the Enable Time Remapping. Place the indicator where you want the slow motion to start. I wanna start from here. Make a keyframe, and so far it's back to normal, and make another keyframe. Now select these two keyframes, and by holding down the Shift and Option key, press the right arrow key once to move forward 10 frames. Open the graph and set it to value mode. Select these two keyframes and click on this icon for auto bezier. Pull this handle down and try to keep this side straight so the rest of the video stays normal. And the same for this side. The higher the value of this curve, the greater the amount of slow motion. Let's play once. I press the N key here to play right here. And we made this animation. I hope this video was useful for you. I see you next time.